Hi, thanks for joining me today. This is the second card in my Think Outside the Jar series. Today we will be using the Perfectly Preserved stamp set to make this cute Halloween card. The first thing I need to do is my stamping. I'm using StazOn ink because I really like that it gives a nice, dark, even coverage. So I'll stamp the jar. And then I'm going to stamp the spider. Not quite all the way up at the top, and sort of to the right hand side a little bit. Next I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and I'm using the banner from Itty Bitty Banners, and this is the Happy Birthday banner. But of course we don't want to say happy birthday, so what I'm going to do is the same thing that I did for the place cards that I made in the first video. I'm taking my basic black marker, and I'm just going to very carefully color just the frame of this banner. Okay, and then I'm stamping that on a piece of more mustard cardstock. You can see all we get is that cute little frame. This is the Happy Halloween stamp from Teeny Tiny Wishes. And because I have my marker out, I'm just going to go ahead and color this with the marker as well. You can, of course, use StazOn for this too, or you can use just your regular basic black ink. And I'll go ahead and line that up and stamp it inside the banner. Okay, and there our greeting is all set. Okay, now that all our stamping is finished, we're going to do some die cutting, and let me show you the pieces that I'm going to cut out. From the Cannery framelit set that matches the Perfectly Preserved stamps, I am going to cut out the jar, and also this is the little topper for the jar. And I'm going to cut that out of this designer series paper. This is from the Howl's Tooth and Scaring Bone collection. So I'm going to cut out one of those as well. I'm going to use the banner from the Bitty Banners framelits to cut out our banner. And then I just have a piece of basic black cardstock. And I'm going to use, this is the third from the smallest, I believe, of the window frames collection framelits, which is in the holiday catalog. And I'm going to cut that out of basic black. Okay, here are all my pieces, and I want to show you while I was die cutting, I ran this window frames framelit shape through with the lacy brocade. There you can see the shape a little bit better. The lacy brocade textured impressions embossing folder. Here are the other pieces that I will need to put together my card. I have a Tangerine Tango card base, and I chose to have this be a portrait style card, so it measures 4 1/4 by 11. I have a layer of crumb cake that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and another piece from the Howl's Tooth and Scaring Bone designer series paper that measures 2 inches wide, and I'm going to trim it to match the crumb cake layer. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some adhesive on my designer paper and line that up. It's about maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Yeah, it's probably about an inch from the left-hand side. I'm using my grid lines to help me line that up. Actually, I think that's a little far, so a little bit less than an inch. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to flip this over and trim off the edges. And now I'm going to adhere my black embossed framelits piece here. And I'm going to center that on the designer paper strip. Okay, just like that. Now I need to put together my jar. The first thing I need to do is tie my twine around the jar topper. So I'm going to do this, if you saw my place card video, I'm going to do this the same way. I just have a little piece of the linen thread. And I'm going to tie a small bow in the middle of that linen thread. Okay. Adjust the bow to the size that I want it. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll take my topper, put some snail along the back, okay, line up the bow in the center, and fold the ends of the twine into that adhesive at the back. See that? Okay, I got my jar here. Put some more adhesive on the back over top of that twine. And center and stick this little jar topper down. And there we have that cute little jar. Now I'm going to add my banner. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive and line that up right where I want it on the jar. Just like that. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. And one on the end of the banner. And then I'll just put that towards the bottom of this label shape. Just like that. And now all I need to do is bring my card base back in. Some adhesive on the back, and I'm just going to center and stick this onto my Tangerine Tango card base. Adjust this banner a little bit, it's a little bit crooked. There we go. And there's our finished card for today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye-bye.